The news is live on Class 91.3 FM in Accra, Ho FM 92.5 in the Volta region, Dagban FM 102.5 in Tamale, Radio 1 92.1 in the Upper West region, Radio Power 96 in Spain. Around the world, join us on classfmonline.com. Coming up in this bulletin, Accra High Court to rule on Chema Wuntumi's Summer Boy mining case today. Also, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia urges release of Constitutional Review Committee report for public debate.
The report of the committee has not been published. Before the nation has even read it, Parliament has rushed through and legislated in the opposite direction. Mr. President, publish the report first.
Education Minister Harun Idrisu to address 3 billion Ghana Cedis Senior High School Infrastructure Program. Coming up also in African news, Uganda suspends school trip after 20 people die in bus crash. These plus many other stories coming your way shortly.
This is the Class Breakfast News.
I am Elizabeth Aidoo and you're welcome to Class 91.3 FM. Let's settle for the details of the news. The legal fate of Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Entry-Bosiako, known as Chairman Wuntumi, will be determined today as the Accra High Court delivers judgment in case involving alleged illegal mining activities at Samirboy in the Western North region. The case, which has generated significant public interest, follows months of legal arguments between the prosecution and defense over allegations linked to the mining operations by Akonta Mining. Both sides have presented their arguments before the court, with the defense maintaining that Chairman Wuntumi is not guilty of charges brought against him. Today's judgment is expected to bring clarity to the matter and determine whether the prosecution will be able to prove its case or whether the accused person will be cleared. Our court correspondent Mame Ababru has more in the following report.
The prosecution is expected to close its case this week in the ongoing trial of former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Kwabena Aidoo, and 2 other accused persons over the alleged theft of 49.1 million Ghana cedis belonging to the government of Ghana. Deputy Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Justice Shrimsai, disclosed that the state prosecutors, together with investigators from the Economic and Organized Crime Office, have presented what he describes as a strong body of evidence before the trial court. According to Dr. Shrimsai, the prosecution's evidence seeks to establish that the 49.1 million Ghana cedis was public money held in a bank account belonging to a government institution. The trial is expected to proceed this week, with the prosecution closing its case, after which the court will determine the next stage of the proceedings. Meanwhile, the Accra High Court is expected to deliver judgment today in the case involving the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Entry-Bosiako, popularly known as Chairman Wuntumi, over alleged illegal mining activities at Samirboy in the Western North region. The case has attracted significant public attention following months of legal proceedings, during which the prosecution and defense presented their respective arguments before the court. Today's judgment is expected to determine whether Chairman Wuntumi will be held liable on the charges brought against him or be acquitted. The proceedings follow a series of adjournments and legal arguments, including an unsuccessful application by the defense to withdraw from the case, after which the court directed that the trial continue. The ruling is expected to bring clarity to one of Ghana's closely watched mining-related cases. Reporting for Class News, I am Mami Ababri.
So those are some of the issues that will be happening in court today. We'll bring you all the updates right here on Class 91.3 FM. The New Patriotic Party's flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, has called on President John Dramani Mahama to publish the Constitutional Review Committee's full report to allow Ghanaians to scrutinize its recommendations before any constitutional reforms are implemented. Speaking to the nation on Sunday, Dr. Baumia said the committee submitted its report to the president several months ago, but only a summary of its recommendation have been made public. He argues that the full report, together with the government's position on its recommendations, should be released to ensure transparency and promote informed national dialogue. The former vice president said publishing the report would enable professional bodies like civil society organizations, political parties, and other stakeholders to study the recommendations and make meaningful contributions to the constitutional review process.
Consider also the government's own process. The president established the Constitution Review Committee, and it reported last December. This committee recommended removing regional tribunals from the Constitution because the High Court has long carried their caseload. Yet, the report of the committee has not been published. Before the nation has even read it, Parliament has rushed through and legislated in the opposite direction. Mr. President, publish the report first.
On the recently passed tribunal bill, Dr. Bawumia urges President Mahama to suspend the assent process until wider consultations are held with key stakeholders. He argued that a legislation with far-reaching implementation for Ghana's judicial system should not become law based solely on parliamentary numbers, but should be shaped through national consensus. The flag bearer stressed that the judicial remains a critical pillar of Ghana's democracy and that any changes to the justice system must be approached with caution, openness, and inclusivity.
Mr. President, your government commands one of the largest majorities in the history of the Fourth Republic. With such numbers, Parliament can pass almost any bill it wishes. Not everything that can be passed should be passed. The larger the majority, the greater the duty of restraint. History will not ask how many votes a law received. It will ask whether the law is just, equitable, and seeks to promote and protect the interests of Ghanaians. My call is therefore simple and constructive. Withhold your assent. Convene genuine national engagement. Invite the Ghana Bar Association and other lawyers groups, organized labor, civil society, and the political parties, including my own. We will come in good faith and consult the judiciary itself, the institution that must live with whatever Parliament creates. Justice belongs to no government and no party. It belongs to the Ghanaian people, and a law that reshapes the architecture of justice should rest on national consensus, not on head count. Mr. President, the pen is in your hand. Use it not to assent to this bill, but write an invitation to the nation through the Council of State in accordance with Articles 90 and 106 of the 1992 Constitution.
That's the flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Ghana's campaign against xenophobia and repatriation justice has received a major boost after the ECOWAS Council of Ministers endorsed the country's petition to the African Union. The Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa disclosed that the regional body has also endorsed the Accra's next step commitment on repatriation justice. They made the announcement in Facebook post on Sunday, July 19, while attending the ECOWAS Council of Ministers meeting in Sierra Leone ahead of the summit of the Authority of Heads of State and Government. According to the minister, the endorsement reflects growing regional commitment to promoting tolerance, unity, and justice across Africa. He affirms government's commitment to advancing policies and initiatives that strengthen Africans' unity while promoting the right and dignity of people across the continent. The Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa is part of Ghana's delegation participating in the ECOWAS meeting, where regional leaders are expected to discuss key political, economic, and security issues affecting West Africa. The endorsement comes as Ghana continues to advocate stronger continental action against xenophobia and renewed conversation repatriation justice. We'll bring you more details on this story subsequently. Now, residents of Akachi North are said to benefit from improved security services following the commissioning of a new police headquarters by President, which was initiated in 2014 but left incomplete, now provides a benefiting office accommodation for the district office commander and other decentralized personnel. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony, President Mahama urged police officers to take ownership of the facility by ensuring it is properly maintained and preserved for future generations.
Is a story of what not to do in any time, and then it was abandoned, and it's only now in 2026 we're coming to commission it. When it happens like that, then what happens is, one, the timelines of the project are not realized, taxpayers' money has been sunk into it, and then apart from that, there's a budget overrun, because by the time you come to complete it, can you
The president also encouraged the community and the district assembly to collaborate with Ghana Police Service to maintain peace and security in the area.
The police service is only as effective as you make it to be, because the criminals live amongst us. And the only way the police can investigate and fish out the criminals is if we support them, if we help them with information. Sometimes we have an armed robber in our community. Everybody knows that this person is an armed robber. But if you go and say it, they'll say you are what? How do they say concern? Sakpilito. If you go and say it, they'll say you are Sakpilito. But if you are Sakpilito and your community is safe, it's a good thing. And so the police are our partners in security. The police cannot do it alone unless the community supports them. And so if you live in a community and somebody is selling drugs, is selling tramadol to your children, it is your duty to go and tell the police this person is a drug distributor, so that they can deal with him and save your children from addiction. And so we must support the police by providing them with information so that they can do their jobs properly.
That's President John Dramani Mahama. Burkina Faso has lifted restrictions on egg export from Ghana and reopened markets to tomato following talks between officials of the two countries. The agreement follows a high-level engagement between officials of Ghana and Burkina Faso aimed at strengthening bilateral trade and addressing challenges affecting traders and producers. The Ghanaian delegation was led by the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosojare, and the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku. The two ministers say the development brings relief to poultry farmers and egg exporters, particularly those in the Doma area, whose exports were affected by the restriction imposed by Burkina Faso. In a statement, the government reaffirms its commitment to protecting the interests of traders and producers while promoting stronger trade relations with neighboring countries. Ghana and Burkina Faso have also agreed to establish a joint technical committee to ensure smooth trade flow and promptly resolve any trade-related challenges. The two countries are also expected to work towards a bilateral trade agreement to strengthen economic cooperation, reduce trade barriers, and also improve market access for goods and services. The Judicial Service has extended legal education to Makola traders, focusing on marriage, property rights, and child custody as part of activities marking the 150th anniversary of the Supreme Court. The outreach held in Accra forms part of a month-long Supreme Court at 150 celebration, which are aimed at improving public understanding of the law and bringing justice closer to the people. The activities, which started on July 2, will run until July 31, 2026. Earlier, judges, lawyers, and staff of the Judicial Service participated in a commemorative float through part of Accra to create awareness about the anniversary. The chairperson of the planning committee, Justice Richard Ajay Frimpong, has been speaking.
But there is an opportunity for us to engage, open up to the general public, and this particular activity is part of the initiative. And so it's ongoing as we speak. One, we are engaging with the public. We want to make the public part of the celebration. It is their Supreme Court. And therefore, 150 years, we have to find a way of making them a part of it. Two, to educate them, burning legal issues, marital issues on people's minds. And we thought that it's a fine opportunity for us to open our doors to them, to engage with the public and educate them by their rights free of charge. And I must take this opportunity to thank the Greater Accra Bar for supporting us in this direction. Yes, we test the temperature of the public. I think that these are issues which have come up in recent times based on some of the decisions of the High Court and the rest. And we think that there are questions around these issues. People are not so clear in their minds as to what the law actually says. And we think these are matters that we should put on the front burner to let the public know.
Thus, the chairperson of the Planning Committee for the Supreme Court at 150, Justice Richard J. from Pong. The government's 3 billion Ghana cedis infrastructure program to abolish the double track system in senior high school will be among key issues Education Minister Haruna Iddrisu is expected to address today. The minister is scheduled to appear at the Government Accountability Series for a mid-year assessment of the education sector. He is expected to provide updates on government's interventions, policies and programs aimed at improving education delivery across the country. The engagement organized by the presidency forms part of efforts to account for government's programs and provide the public with updates on their implementation. The Government Accountability Series today will come off at 11 a.m. and we'll bring you more details on that. To some African news before I leave, Uganda's government has suspended all school trips in the wake of Thursday's evening's bus crash that killed at least 20 pupils and 1 adult who were taking part in an educational tour. We'll also bring you details on this story. For now, this ends the Class Breakfast News with me, Elizabeth Aidoo. For more news and updates, do log on to classfmonline.com. The morning show continues with Charles Akrofi. Do stay and enjoy the rest of our programs. I am Elizabeth Aidoo. Have a good morning.
This is the Class Breakfast News.
The top brass listen to Class 91.3 FM. Empowering excellence.
This is Class 91.3. Class 91.3. This is Class 91.3.
The top brass listen.